2K Sports pregame show.
Here we are with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And on tap tonight, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Phoenix Suns. And the Suns going through a bit of a rough stretch. They haven't been able to touch on a whole lot that's worked for them this season, and now they're 12th in the West. That is not the direction they wanted to move in this year. Andrew Wiggins making strides in his game last season, scoring from all over the floor now, and more importantly, scoring with efficiency. What was the change you saw, Shaq, in his approach?
Well, I like this kid. He's, Ernie, really a quiet assassin. The three-point shot was clicking for him. Much more space to operate with an outside game. This kid can do it all. Oh, Canada, you better stand on guard for he.
Oh, I like that.
How come nobody's ever described as a noisy assassin?
Good point, Ernie.
Anyway, back to Andrew Wiggins.
Well, does a good job of drawing fouls as well, getting to the free throw line.
You know what?
Quietly gets to the free throw line.
You know what we also did?
What's
Anytime
that?
you get the guy to start the music early, you know you've done your job.
There it is.
Let's send it to Kevin Harlan.
That's a great look at our location tonight, the home of the Suns here in downtown Phoenix. 2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Phoenix, Arizona, the home of the Suns. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Looking at the last game for the Phoenix Suns, it was a loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. And guys, the hometown fans not pleased with that dreadful performance. They saw their team get knocked out cold.
And the big problem, they got trigger happy. Shot a very low percentage from beyond the arc.
And you know, Greg, to me that's baffling. I'm not sure why they didn't do some dine-in eating. Go inside and eat instead of all that work in the drive-through behind the arc.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, you know, sometimes it can be a problem when you have as much talent as the Timberwolves do on their team. And it's a lot of offensive talent as well. So are there enough touches for everybody? Now, Karl Anthony Towns says yes. He says, no matter what, we are all going to eat. There is enough food on the table for all of us. Kevin, this is always a problem for you, but we're going to let you eat first.
All right, D, not a problem. I ordered more than enough for all of us. There is no shortage of athleticism in this one tonight, Clark. Both these teams just incredibly athletic on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I agree with you there, partner. I mean, they cover so much ground, and they cover it quickly because of the length and speed they have as teams. I mean, excellent length on both sides of the ball in this one, and they play to their strengths, and that's length and athleticism.
So Phoenix will get the first possession. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. And it's Wiggins in at the 3, the small forward. On defense, the Suns. Passes it to Gibson. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Teague, the pass to Towns. Chandler with the defensive effort. Payton with the ball. Now Chris. There's a screen by Chris. Here's Payton, and the rejection by Towns. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Wiggins right side, cans the 12-footer. Wiggins has got the first points of the night for Minnesota.
Hey, that mid-range area, in-between area, we call it, inside the three-point line and not at the rim, Wiggins knows he can get this shot anytime he wants.
Now here's Payton, left side Chandler. Just 5 to shoot. And here's Booker from the arc. Suns keep it alive.
Still scoreless after 4 attempts, trying to take the lid off the basket.
And Teague, here we go. Basket good.
Yeah, you could see how Teague was probing the defender there, seeing if he could catch him leaning and drive to the rim. Nicely done.
Payton kicks to Chandler. Now the pass to Jackson. Dishes it to Booker. Over Butler. A nice shot by Booker.
Boy, the 5th time's the charm. That's a big basket there.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Upside Butler. Chandler with the steal. Payton with the ball. Picked up by Teague. Payton kicks to Booker. Chris with it. Gibson on him. Chris can't hit. On defense, Phoenix. Trailing by 2. Butler dishes to Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Wiggins has got his 2nd basket of the game.
Yeah, high percentage look there, Kevin. I mean, Wiggins reads the defense and then basically just takes what he's given there.
But he gets it back. Here's Booker. Again, the miss by Booker.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Butler goes in, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Jackson kicks to Booker. Over Butler. Again, the miss by Booker.
I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
And Josh Jackson picks up the foul. That's his 1st foul.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Here's Teague, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. Teague's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Hard not to admire Teague. I mean, despite not being the biggest guy, he finds a way to get it done inside.
Chandler with a screen for Payton. A floater. 2nd shot opportunity, and Chandler lays it in.
And you just hate to give up those 2nd chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams 2nd shots like that.
Chandler with the block.
And how about the basketball IQ of Chandler? Just knows exactly when to sky and commit to blocking shots.
Here's Wiggins.
Oh, that athlete.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Are you? Oh, my goodness. Making the impossible look easy. Wiggins with the great creativity in the air. He typically hangs in the air a little longer than the average bird, though.
Now here's Booker. 20 points for him last game against Memphis.
And you know what? In that last game, he was also all over the place on defense, mucking up the passing lanes and getting all kinds of steals, too.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Devin Booker.
And, you know, that's going to be free throws. I mean, the length and quickness of Wiggins forcing the defender's hand there.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Timberwolves.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
That one is off.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
Good on the 2nd free throw. And Wiggins, his young career, just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that 2-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
And it's in there.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Suns trail by 6. Chandler a screen. They set the pick, and Booker kicks to Chandler. Payton attacking over Teague, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
It's a constant refrain when you're talking about Elfrid Payton. He's got to improve his outside shot. Defenders are going to continue to dare him to shoot it when he's on the perimeter, and he's got to improve that part of his game.
First free throw is good. And shooting has been the knock on Payton since college. His struggles from the arc and the free throw line well documented.
Exactly, Kevin, but some signs of progress on the horizon in 2016-17, a career best field goal percentage and free throw percentage, and shot much better from mid-range, because we know if he gets this piece of his game in order, he already is doing the rest of the stuff.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
Free throw, good Butler. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
Warren's checked in for the Suns. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Solid trip from the line right there. Knocked him down, and it was easy.
Payton kicks to Warren. Chandler with the screen on Wiggins. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Chandler, the pass to Chris. Here's Warren. No good that time. Towns with the defensive effort. Minnesota comes into this one following a loss to Denver.
You know, a poor shooting night. I just got the sense they didn't work hard enough to get good looks.
Well, the effort plainly was not there. I mean, they often settled for tougher, lower percentage shots, and that makes it hard to win.
Suns trail by 7. Payton dishes to Chandler. To the inside. Here's Chris.
Talk about bringing the heat, the thunder, and the lightning on that pound.
And Kevin, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when they need a spark the most.
Now here's Towns. They had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Nuggets in Denver. Outside Jackson. There's the feed to Warren. Misses the 3. Timberwolves leading by 5. Pass to Towns. Butler on the wing. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Butler's got 5 now.
Yes, he did. Having a big who can locate the open man the way Towns does puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Chandler kicks to Jackson. And that one drops for him. Jackson's got his second bucket of the game to go. The Timberwolves have gotten 7 of their first 10 attempts to fall so far. Excellent pace to their offense. Teague the pass to Towns. Tyson Chandler pulls it in.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
And now here's Chris. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
Now Teague after the missed 3 from Elfrid Payton. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Terrific awareness from the savvy point guard. Jeff Teague is excellent at getting the ball to the open man.
Suns trail by 8. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix.
And, you know, the 2016-17 season was one of the best for Jeff Teague in his time in the league. Had to feel good for him performing at such a high level in his hometown of Indy.
And you remember Teague revealed at the end of the 2015-16 season that he'd been limited by a torn patella tendon.
Yeah, and part of what makes him special is his explosiveness, and he needs that to be his best. Really, any player does. He's a player whose strength, I think, is attacking and playing downhill and getting himself to the foul line.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Alex Len's checked in for Chandler. Williams comes in for Marquise Chris. Daniels is checked in for Jackson. And Tyler Hughes is subbed in for Elfrid Payton. Here's Jones following the score by Phoenix. There's Crawford with the three. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Last time they came together was in Minnesota, where they fell to the Wolves.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
And you know what, Greg? I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, this is the NBA, the best league in the world. You got to block things out and focus on the task at hand.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
First one falls for him.
And up and down this Suns roster, there is a ton of youth. One of the younger teams in our league last season, and that was weighted with Tyson Chandler's age. A lot of young players looking to make their mark here in the NBA.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And last season, the Suns broke their franchise record for the youngest starting 5 the team has ever put on the court on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and with those young lineups, you could see the benefits, but also the concerns. I mean, they got a lot of extended looks at young players, and this team figures to have a bright future. But let's face it, there were some inconsistent stretches because of that youth. It's always difficult for a young group to learn how to become efficient and effective in the half court.
So it's Phoenix now after the basket by Minnesota. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Daniels. And the 3 ball is good.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
Left side, Jones. And Bielitsa kicks to Zhang. Here's Crawford. Back to Zhang. Rejected by Len. Now, here's Ulis. He's coming off a 10-point game against Memphis. Down low, Williams got a piece of it. Here's Bielitsa. Outside, Jones. The dish to Crawford. Zhang, a screen. Pass to Patton. 3-pointer. Rebound by Williams. Suns trail by 3. And here is Warren. 11 points for him in that last game against Memphis. Ulis with it, working on Jones. Here's Len, got a piece of it, and out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Timberwolves leading by 3. Jones with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. There's the screen. Zhang, a screen. Shot clock at 6. He took good advantage of that screen. And the Timberwolves lead by 6.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Ulis with it. Jones covering. But they'll get another chance. Len with a screen on Jones. A floater. Ulis can't get it to go. Minnesota's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. Crawford's shot is good.
Well, there's the unselfishness. Zhang is a more natural finisher than setup man, but more important, he always thinks team first.
Now, here's Ulis. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Len dishes to Ulis. It's deflected. Feeds to Crawford. Back to Jang.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
There's 39 seconds left here in the opening quarter. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Ulis passes to Len. He's looking for Williams and finds him. To halt the run, and he sinks the layup. Williams has got his first basket.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Now here's Crawford. 5 points in the game. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Shot clock at 5. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved a layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
The Timberwolves have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
And he knocks down the first one. Both free throws good from Crawford. 5 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Ulis. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And money to end the quarter there with the triple.
They knew exactly what they wanted to do right there, Greg, and the timing was right on time.
And so it's Andrew Wiggins making highlights for Minnesota. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We've got more in store for you right after this. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us about one of his biggest surprises.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would be preparing to guard me night in and night out. But they do. I have to learn to cope with that and still find a way to be successful on both ends of the floor. And it's a learning curve for me also, but I'm figuring it out.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player, and if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, it's been impressive for me too, Greg. I mean, they've snuffed out a lot of shots, and I think they've had an intimidating effect on the opponent.
You've got Alan Williams. He's out there with Alex Len. T.J. Warren out there with Ulis. And it's Daniels in at the shooting guard. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations, Tom Thibodeau, says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. Now, here's Warren. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Another shot. Goes up again, and it's good on the layup.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
It's Jones on the wing. Crawford outside. The three. Rebound by Williams.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Now Len, after the missed three from Jamal Crawford. Shot clock at 5. The putback, and Williams is right there.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now here's Crawford. 7 points in the game. Passes to Pat. It's Bielitsa. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field. And Clark, if you're a player on a cold streak, either in a game or over a couple games, does that tend to stay with you and get in your head?
You know, it's been so long since I played, Kevin. I would like to think that it didn't with me because the games came so fast. You're playing 3, 4, 5 times a week. You don't have time to loiter on a good game or bad game because the next one is on top of you. So I typically was able to get on to the next play within a game and to the next game after the prior game.
Now here's Ulis following the missed shot by Tyus Jones, and out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. And the Suns here with a different look. Marquise Chris, he's checked in for Williams. Jackson comes in for Warren. Devin Booker, he's checked in for Troy Daniels. And it's Payton in for Tyler Ulis. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Towns, he's checked in for Patton. Wiggins comes in for Bielitsa. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Teague in for Jones. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Alex Len. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Gibson's checked in. Suns trail by 6. Payton kicks to Booker. And the rejection by Towns.
Great timing on the block there. Towns helps affect winning in a lot of different ways.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Timberwolves leading by 6. Outside Teague. He dishes it to Wiggins. Butler against Booker. And it's Butler missing. The Suns shooting at a 32% clip from the field. They're just not executing. Now Payton. He gives the team some steady offense. A bit under 10 points a game. There's a screen by Chris. Just 5 to shoot. Offline with his 3. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. And Teague, here we go. And Towns, the bucket on the assist by Teague. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's Payton after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Now here's Payton. Inside and stolen by Wiggins. Here's Butler. Makes it off the glass. And now it's a 10-point Timberwolves lead.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And the Suns call time.
Hey, and you know, when you're the #1 overall pick, there's some pressure that comes with that stature. And Wiggins had a lot of pressure on him because of that. Has responded well, though. And I think stardom is in this guy's future. I mean, you look at his overall game and how he's developing, a really good threat on offense, and I think he's got a chance to be all NBA defense at some point.
Towns with the steal. 16 feet away. Here's Gibson, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Taj Gibson is a solid role player, really one of the best we have. A good rebounder and defender with a soft touch from the mid-range and can score without having plays called for him.
That's good from Gibson. And just thinking about the maturing of Wiggins' game and how he's developed, Clark, he's shown that he can carry an offense as a perimeter player. Few can do that at his age.
Yeah, and he was able to do that in part because he was forced to. When Levine went down last season with an injury, stepped up his scoring, and I think he's only going to get better as he gets older.
And both free throws good from Gibson.
You know, the last few seasons, the Timberwolves assembled a terrific young core. Now they're ready, I think, to take that next step forward, adding veterans like Butler, Teague, and Gibson. I think they're ready to win right now.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Teague kicks to Gibson. Down low. The kick out to Teague. Over Payton. Another miss by Minnesota. For the Wolves in their breakout season everyone was waiting for, the pressure is felt by the team. It's just hard to pick out when a group of young players, Clark, is going to put it all together.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But that Western Conference about as stacked as it's ever been, Kevin. But you know what? I think the Wolves are primed and ready to be contenders.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Tyson Chandler. Here's Towns. Looking at the numbers, he's averaging about 20.5 points a game. Shot clock at 6. To the inside. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
There's the pick. Here's Booker. And the dunk by Booker.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screen play. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Here's Towns following the score by Phoenix. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. Suns trail by 10. Down low. Jackson misses.
And that was almost one for the highlights. The long distance alley-oop, just a fraction off the mark.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Here's Payton. Chandler dishes to Payton. Over Teague. And Payton gets it to go on the assist by Chandler. Payton's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Suns. And here is Teague. His last outing, he had 8 points. Butler passes to Gibson. And stolen by Chris. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That's his first foul. Phoenix has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Booker in the corner. The three.
Not much success from beyond the arc for him here. They should look to work it inside a little bit more and get some easy looks in the paint.
Here's Towns. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Phoenix calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Jackson, no good from 11 feet. Minnesota leading by 10. T kicks to Butler. Towns dishes to Wiggins. Over Jackson. And it's Wiggins missing. Well, Phoenix shooting in the second quarter has been pretty iffy, down 32%. And Jackson throws it down hard.
Yeah, that's just an example of effort there. Jackson taking pride in beating everybody down the floor in transition.
Teague the pass to Gibson. Booker against Butler. Back to Gibson. Towns up top. 5 on the clock. over Chandler. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Clark, one thing you have to love about Towns is just how self-aware and humble he is. He's always looking to hone his game, and even when he puts up a big night, he can look at the tape and find something that he's got to improve on.
Yeah, that's admirable. His humility and his selflessness, being aware of what's going on, where he needs to get better, and that's part of why I think he's a leader on this team. He'll own his mistakes, and he also is owning his personal development and improvement. So the future's bright for this guy.
And he knocks down the first one.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
He hits both from the stripe. And Clark, when you think back to your career, what do you miss the most about playing in the National Basketball Association?
Well, you know, for me, Kevin, because my career was cut short due to injury, I missed the opportunity to see how good I could have been on a winning team, on a playoff team. Back in the early 80s, the Pacers were building towards that, and I never got a chance to be part of a playoff team. And the camaraderie you establish in going through the shared misery and joy of competing is something that's special and unique to sports, and you really don't find it in any other venue.
Payton with the ball. 5 points in the game. Chandler a screen on the wing. Booker from the arc hits it from 3-point range. Booker's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Well, I love the way Payton is always looking to swing the ball. I mean, he's constantly on the lookout for the ball reversal to help an open teammate get a shot.
Now here's Butler. 9 points in the game so far. He feeds it to Gibson. Kicks it to Towns. It's tipped. 1:49 left in the first half of basketball. Payton dishes to Jackson. Pulled the shot a little up, but the bounce goes his way. And now it's only a 5-point Timberwolves lead. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Always. And having a good coach is critically important. I mean, you need somebody you can count on to make the right adjustment.
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. Timberwolves leading by 5. There's 1:34 left in the second quarter. To the middle, here's Jang. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Jang's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Kevin, that's high percentage distance for Jang there, and doing it with a hand in his face.
It's stolen by Jones. One-on-one fast break. Here's Patton. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
And the double clutch layup in that situation, that's just him playing to the crowd, guys.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Well, it definitely was a disappointing part of his game this year. Not the numbers he was hoping for from the stripe.
And that one misses.
Well, you know what this Suns team wants to do when they go up against you? They are looking to get out in the open floor and get easy baskets off transition. One of the best teams in the league when it comes to capitalizing on the break.
Now here's Jones. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Crawford, no luck.
And just not able to find the target from 3-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Len kicks to Ulis. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Ball's knocked loose. Len passes to Warren. From outside, off the mark.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Here's Daniels. But they get it back. Len dishes to Warren. And it goes down 2 points. Warren's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And, you know, these are easy ones. Once you're this close, it's academic.
On the wing, Jamal Crawford over Daniels. Crawford missing again.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Minnesota on top. They lead by 7. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style. Jimmy, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Minnesota came out looking very confident. They had the upper hand early, defense and offense clicking, opening up an 8-2 run after the tip. By the end of the first quarter, their lead was 7. Moving on to quarter number 2, the intensity escalated, but the margin remained the same as they finished the half still up by 7. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
I like their commitment to that inside game, boy. Get it inside to the post. Got to be scoring in the post, splashing to the basket. Just shoot the high percentage shot. No jumpers, no threes. They're being a more aggressive team, the more physical team. They're definitely going to win this game, Ernie.
Kenny, your take on Phoenix.
To me, they looked out of sync shooting the basketball. Under 40% for the first half. Some of it was poor shot selection, but mostly it just looked like they were out of rhythm. For the second half, they need to push more for buckets in transition. Get to the foul line a little bit more. Try to get back in the flow.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
The second half just about to get going here. You look at Jimmy Butler. He's really been playing well.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Timberwolves leading by 7. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. And it's Teague in at the point guard position.
And that's what I like to see from Butler, going right up with it. No hesitation at all. Ready to shoot as soon as he catches it.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. Here's Peyton after the made shot from Jeff Teague.
Boy, awful defending, really. But in the end, they dodged the bullet. They can't let shooters get clean looks from outside, though.
Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Butler. The title of best dunker is one that seems to change, Clark, from year to year in the NBA. Who's on your short list for that honor right now?
Well, there are a lot of ways you can look at that, Kevin. The best dunker is it the most sweet-looking dunker? Is it the most forceful dunker? Is it the dunker that can do it in a game or in a contest? There are a lot of different branches on this dunk tree. But for me, looks, creativity, elevation, Zach LaVine comes to the top of the list. The big guys, I kind of eliminate a little bit. So I go with Zach LaVine in the dunk meter.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. T kicks to Towns. Gibson the screen. Now the pass to Butler. No good on the three. Suns trail by 10. Here's Booker. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Booker's got 9.
Hey, major props to Josh Jackson. Made an intelligent play there. Has a good feel for when his guys have a clean look.
Teague the pass to Gibson. Wiggins right side. He kicks it to Teague. 6 to shoot. And Chandler sends it back. Booker in the corner. Again, the miss by Booker.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
Towns dishes to Gibson. Butler on the way. Lets it go from deep. Unable to get that one. And Phoenix will come the other way. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Timberwolves leading by 8. Outside Teague. Dishes it to Butler. Towns high post. Now Payton. 5 points in the game. Chandler a screen. Lobbed up there for Booker. It's stolen by Teague. And now the fast break. Gibson with the ball. Outside Butler. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It goes on Devin Booker.
And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint.
For Minnesota, they have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line.
Two shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And the book on T, Greg, is to make him an outside shooter. You don't want him getting to the rim.
I mean, he's a good finisher around the rim. His outside shooting, although streaky at times, not bad, but not great either.
And so Butler nails both of them.
And guys, I think Jimmy Butler has all the tools you could want in a two-way player. He's an excellent defender, and he also can score the ball from just about anywhere.
Timeout called. The Suns.
Well, the problem last year for the Timberwolves was their defense. Allowed way too many points in the paint. Fortunately, they've improved their defense down the stretch here.
And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Timberwolves.
And they've been doing a great job of getting into the paint and scoring inside. The defense allowing them easy access to the rim, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Payton against T, and they double up Payton. Here's a screen by Chris. Here's Booker. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Another issue with the Wolves and their defense was that they weren't a great rebounding team outside, of course, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, and you know what? There weren't a lot of big issues with the Wolves defense, but the small issues added up and cumulatively were a problem. I think they've got to continue to build on becoming a solid defensive team.
On the free throw, no good. And more, it's looking like Devin Booker, the 13th pick in the 2015 draft, is going to be one of the biggest steals of that draft class.
And he's one that all GMs are looking at, and they wish they could have a redo. I mean, Booker was very young when he entered the draft, and some teams maybe shied away from that. But clearly, he's shown that he could be one of the best players in that class.
Teague for three. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Suns trail by 8. Payton kicks to Booker, trying to find Chandler. He's got it now. Count it. Good.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Teague, the pass to Butler. The feed to Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Towns has got 10 points in the game.
And, you know, you see Towns able to overpower the defender there. He's really tough once he gets it that close to the rim.
Inside with the tip.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And, Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That'll be his second foul of the game. For Phoenix, they've gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Chandler with the screen on Teague. Fires at the elbow. And it's off the back rim. No good. Butler dishes to Gibson. Back to Butler. Pass to Teague. They set the pick. Outside Gibson. 6 on the shot clock. Three-pointer. Butler. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
Watch out now when Butler gets rolling. He's super dangerous when he gets the hot hand.
Off the screen. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. 13 points in the game.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Timberwolves.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
And Elfrid Payton was drafted 10th back in 2014, played 3 years at Louisiana Lafayette. Very young for a junior in terms of his age. The story goes that he started kindergarten when he was only 3 years old. Man, that kid got an early start on schoolwork, and he looks like a really smart player, too.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And Elfrid Payton with one of the most unique hairstyles, Clark, that you will see in the league.
Yeah, and there's a story behind that hairstyle, Kevin. I mean, his high school team in Louisiana made a vow not to cut their hair until they won the state championship. They lost in the state semifinals, and Payton seems to have kept that vow all this time.
Here's Payton. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Jackson kicks to Chandler. Back to Jackson. Left side, Williams. Out to the wing. Jones against Payton. On the wing, Jackson. Williams kicks to Payton. Chandler is screened. Here's the three. The shot by Payton, no good.
And I think these are the shots he's got to avoid taking. I mean, already struggling. He's not helping his team right now looking at those shots.
Suns trail by 9. There's the pick. Outside Jackson, expanding his range. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And Minnesota will come the other way. They've held a 12-point lead early. Moving on from this game, they're scheduled to take on the Lakers at the Staples Center. That'll be the 3rd game of this 3-game road trip. Here's Towns. No good there. Chandler with the defensive effort. Payton against Jones. Payton kicks to Booker. Jackson setting the pick here for Booker. And stolen by Wiggins. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Jones is running. And it's Butler missing.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. The Suns have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them. First free throw is good. Phoenix making some changes. Lenz checked in for Chandler. T.J. Warren comes in for Jackson. And Eula subbed in for Elfrid Payton. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Patton, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Bielitsa comes in for Andrew Wiggins. And it's Crawford in for Butler. So he gets them both.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, when you play against this Minnesota team, you know they like to play at a slower pace. I mean, they had one of the slowest paces of play in the league last season. Not a team that really wants to put the pedal to the metal.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
No good from Booker.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Crawford against Booker. Crawford drives in. Jones for 3. Booker pulls it in.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
And the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The Suns have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
And the first one drops.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Timberwolves leading by 8. Eula's with a steal. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Bielitsa's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Outside, Jones. Jang, a screen. They set the pick. Here's the 3. That's good from Crawford on the assist by Jones. Crawford's got 10.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Booker the pass to Len. Here's Ulis, and that one's on target from the wing. He's got 7.
Boy, that was a terribly difficult shot, but still, somehow, some way, it went down. Wow.
And stolen by Booker. And now the Suns a fast break. And the dunk by Booker.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Well, I think the defense flat out gave up. I mean, didn't even try to get back into the picture on that fast break finish.
Now here's Jones. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Here's Bielitsa. Defended by Booker. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And Nemanja Bielitsa, stretch big out of Serbia, is a guy who has a nice shooting stroke and can help space the floor for you because of that. When he's active on the offensive end looking for a shot, I think that's when he most helps his team.
Two shots.
And he makes the first. And Bjelica at times can fall into that bystander mode, Clark. It was something he was hoping to improve on and avoid last season before he had to be shut down with a foot injury.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I can recall a game last season where Towns actually had to tell Bjelica, shoot, you're open. With his skill set, you want this guy to be aggressive looking for his shot. He needs to hunt his shot. The consistency he's building after a few seasons in the NBA, I think, is really starting to help his confidence.
Len's shot is off.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
.141 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Ulis, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Crawford outside. Len grabs the board. Len's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. From 10 feet out, Ulis can't get it to go. Timberwolves leading by 9. And Bjelica kicks to Crawford. Rebound by Williams. Williams has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Out to the right wing. Here's Len. Rebound by Bjelica.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
Crawford, no luck.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
Jang, a screen. To the paint. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Here's Warren. Got it off in time, but it's no good. The third quarter comes to a close. Timberwolves lead by 9. 2K Sports back to Phoenix after this. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Keep digging, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fighting every loose ball. Make it hard on them. Make them hard.
And there's Tom Thibodeau focusing on the toughness and effort he'd like to see from his team.
Yeah, he wants them to just leave no stone unturned, take advantage of every opportunity, and that's going to be the roadmap to success.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. Setting the floor for the Suns. Allen Williams out there with T.J. Warren. Then it's Ulis. Then it's Alex Len. And it's Daniels in at the 2. And the Timberwolves with possession here to the right side. And that's a foul called on T.J. Warren. That is his first foul of the game. Chris, he's checked in for the Suns. And a change for the Timberwolves. Taj Gibson's checked in for Jang. Now here's Teague. That's tipped. And Phoenix pushing it up now. Makes a big height bounce and goes in.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Here's Crawford, and Bjelica has it in the corner. A three-pointer is right on target. And the Timberwolves lead by 7.
And turning down what would have been a tough shot for himself into an easy one for his teammate.
Len, a screen. Here's Warren. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Teague for 3. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it.
And so it's Minnesota with it after T.J. Warren's miss. Now, here's Ulis. He's guarded closely. In the corner, Daniels. Here's Len. It's deflected, and he recovers it. Yep, that one goes. Here's Teague. The dish to Gibson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The shot. Here's Patton. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Here's Ulis. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And he makes the first. Tyson Chandler is checked in for the Suns. Jackson comes in for Warren. And then for Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Patton. Wiggins comes in for Bielitsa. And it's Jimmy Butler in for Jamal Crawford. That one is no good. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
Here's Teague after Josh Jackson's bucket. Gibson dishes to Wiggins. The kick out to Teague. Back to Wiggins. And he goes right over Josh Jackson and slams it down.
Well, trying to employ physical defense against Wiggins, but this young man powers right through it. Very impressive.
Suns trail by 8. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Chandler with the screen on Teague. Outside for Jackson. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. 14 points for Josh Jackson.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Outside Teague. Now here's Butler. He's covered by Daniels. Count it. 21 points for Butler.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Chandler outside. Right wing. Ulis kicks to Chandler, and Chandler throws it down.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop.
Tell you what, you wouldn't know they're the team trailing when they're able to pull off plays like that. And all you have to do is throw the ball in Butler's direction, and he'll handle the rest for you, believe me. Fantastic at finishing on the alley-oops.
Now, here's Ulis. There's a screen. And Gibson sends it back. Minnesota leading by 7. Here's Teague. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Now, here's Chandler. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Chandler. Jackson's got 7 points for the quarter.
Man, when he's this close to the bucket, he's dangerous. You got to find a way to keep Jackson away from the goal.
Wiggins sets a screen for Teague. And he lays in the alley-oop. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going.
Neither did the defense.
Here's Ulis. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. There's a screen by Chris. Ulis, good. Ulis has got 9 points here in the second half.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
T kicks to Gibson. Here's Wiggins. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Drawing contact on the dribble drive there. Wiggins with the quick first step, forcing the issue offensively, and as a result, draws the foul.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, you think about Wiggins, drafted #1 overall a few years ago. So many high expectations, and to be fair and honest, he's met most of them.
Booker, he's checked in for Phoenix. Payton comes in for Ulis. And both free throws good for Wiggins. And here are the Suns now. 9-point game. Now here's Payton. Booker outside. There's the 3. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got 14 rebounds tonight, going after. Teague drives in. Butler kicks to Wiggins. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Gibson the screen. Here's the screen. Clock at 6. Wiggins passes to Butler. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And it's Wiggins missing.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Patrolling the perimeter well and didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A+ defense.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Elfrid Payton. Teague with the ball. Now Payton defending. That one falls. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Payton after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Payton kicks to Chandler. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, Greg. Getting everything he possibly could out of that play. Nicely done.
Good call. And it's fair to say, Tyson Chandler, not the player he once was, but still a fantastic rebounder and eats up space and does everything you want from a big man.
Dunking is easy for Jimmy Butler. He's an athlete, he's got good size, and he knows how to use that vertical of his to throw it down.
Now here's Payton. Pass to Chandler. Right wing. Wiggins against Payton. That one, no good.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Towns. And he uses the glass on the layup. Towns has got the lead up to 12 now for Minnesota. And with Chandler, Greg, he still rebounds at a fantastic rate, even though he's the team veteran. As long as he gets minutes, he'll get you some boards.
And part of that is because he's always been one of the smarter rebounders in our league, just aware of how to set up and track the basketball after the shot goes up, and he makes great use of his length and strength.
No good from Booker.
I thought he had the space to shoot comfortably there, and disappointed that he missed it.
He was all alone on that one. And that's 15 points for Andrew Wiggins.
He is in the zone. There's a reason he keeps getting the ball. They're feeding him because they trust him to lead their team.
Now here's Payton. Chandler a screen. Off the pick. And fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot two. Taj Gibson picks one up.
When Payton's on the move driving to the basket, he's a handful. He's explosive and he's determined, and it makes it hard to defend a guy like that.
One thing that Tom Thibodeau can be dependent on as a coach is giving his star players a lot of minutes. In fact, in Chicago, Clarkson criticized him for doing that. Others praised him for it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a team leader, he expects you to be on the floor a lot and produce a lot.
Yeah, and, you know, that's part of the job. Hey, when you get right down to it, if you're one of the best players, you've got to show up and do your job all the time. And you look at players who've played under Thibodeau. I mean, he's had the league leader in average minutes 3 times in his career as a coach. Said himself that he expects his guys to get used to what star players do, which includes a lot of minutes.
And the second free throw, good.
The reason Payton has a promising future in this league is because he's a stat sheet stuffer. He does it all.
Towns a screen on Payton. The shot by Butler, nobody around. That's good, and so Teague with the assist.
Kevin, he's been flat out phenomenal, superb, scintillating this quarter. He's carving them up, knocking down everything.
Timeout called, the Suns.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Jimmy Butler.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. Here's Payton. Booker outside. Jackson in the corner. And the Suns miss again.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Chandler with the rebound. Suns trail by 16. Jackson with it. Now defended by Wiggins. Chandler a screen. Here's Payton. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
Boy, it's good to see Payton work on that mid-range jumper. He's put in a lot of time to make that a consistent part of his game.
Teague dishes to Butler. Feeds it to Towns. And Chandler sends it back. Booker against Butler. Booker the pass to Jackson. And it's Chris in the corner. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Timberwolves leading by 11. On the wing, Wiggins, covered by Payton. Here's Towns. Doesn't go for him. Some solid defense there from Jackson. The 15-footer, and it's Phoenix scoring again.
Well, Jackson is counted on by his team to provide offense, and he doesn't let them down, Kevin.
Outside Teague. Butler on the wing. And they double up Butler. So it's Minnesota now. Payton against Teague. Chandler a screen to the middle. Here's Booker. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Booker's got 13 points in the second half.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Gibson the screen. Teague. A second chance effort. Here's Wiggins. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Yep, and an opportunity for one more at the line. Wiggins with the toughness to finish through contact.
One shot.
And that one misses. And they're desperately trying to get this game back within reach.
And with very little time to spare.
Chandler kicks to Jackson. Here's Payton. And that one hits back iron. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Towns a screen on Payton. Here's Teague. Kicks it out to Gibson. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. And now it's a 12-point Timberwolves lead. Jackson a screen on Teague. And here is Payton. They set the screen. Puts up a three. Chris can't hit.
Is it me, or does it just feel like he gets every rebound that comes up?
Well, he practically has gotten every one that's available. A 20-plus rebounding game is not something we get to see very often, Greg.
And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, you have become a star in this league, big part of the team. Have those expectations put more pressure on you individually?
No pressure. I think I'm gonna do what I do each and every night. I'm not gonna play well every night, but I just gotta focus on me, this team, and worry about the outside influences.
A real leader, Jimmy. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.